Hello everyone, welcome to our little channel. I'm Lisa.
This is Amy.
We came from Jet Fence. Our main product is triangle bending fence, temporary fence, chain link fence, tubular fence, and the kinds of fences as you wanted. Now we will mainly instruct our triangle bending fence for you. This kind of fence have a simple structure and with the bending it can make the meshes much more stronger and available for kinds of poses. So it has a widely application. It can use anywhere you like it. And you may see this product at many places, such like some public ground, such for example park, zone, or maybe your garden. The fence is just this kind of fence. And another is commercial ground, such like company, industry zone, supermarket, some hotel. And of course you can use it anywhere if you want it. Now we will follow to instruct our poses for you. We have many kinds of poses available to fix it. Okay, now you can see these two poses and compare it. This one is a bigger one, this one is a smaller one. The first one is for the pitch pose. This one is a big size pitch pose. And here is a smaller size pitch pose. The third one is the square tube. The second one is the rectangle pose. This is just like half of the square pose and it will be reduced a lot of cost for the raw materials. And the fourth one is the duct pose. The last one is the simplest one, is the round pose. Okay, following we will mainly instruct first to show you how to use the pitch pose to fix all our kinds of panels. And you can see here we have a pose is with a square base with 4 holes on it to fix with anchors by the ground. Here is a smaller size. Smaller size we have a round base. Another base is available for the triangle shape. Of course, if you want to dip the pose under the ground, you won't need the base, and just a whole pose to under the ground is okay. For the post, you can see here is a different punching. The distance is different. For this one is 50 mm per punch, and for this one is 100 mm per punch. This is mainly produced according to the hole size of panels. All the punching will suit our panel's hole size to make all the installation will be very good. And then we will first show you how to fix the pitch post. For the pitch post, why it is also named quick post. Why is named quick post? Because the installation for it is very easy and very quick. You can see we here make a bending to make a hook on the 2 sides of the pitch post. And now we have a panel. We can put the panel into the hook and pull it. Then the installation is finished. Of course, when you get the booth, you can see that you have a lot of panels and a lot of posts. We will instruct you how to fix it one by one. First, we should fix the panel one post at first. To fix it, if the post is with the base, you should drill 4 holes or 3 holes according to the base on the ground, and then put the post here to use the anchors or put the post under the ground to fill with some sand or to fill with some salt or to fill with cement to fix the post very straight. Then we should bring a panel. You can see the panel we have cut a part of this bending because the distance between the post with the hook is smaller, but the bending will thicker than this. It maybe have some effect on the installation, so we have cut a part of this. But don't worry, we will cut this before we make the PE coated or powder coated. All the cut point will be well covered by the powders. And here we have fixed one post, then get one panel to hook it. Okay, now you have hook one panel, and if you have 2 persons, then one person should stand here to fix the panel stronger to fix with the post, and then another one should bring in another post, then hook it. After this step, we should fix this post. If we after fix this post, then a whole set of the panel is finished. But if you only have one person, maybe we have 2 clamps for you. We have 2 clamps for you. This one is a bigger one, and this one is a smaller one. This one is to reduce the labor cost. If you want to install, if you only one person for all the installations, maybe after we fix the panels, here is a clamp for you. This one is very easy for use. You can see here we have a bending to the hook to fix with the post by the hook, and here you can see without anyone to fix it, to hang it, the panels can be well fixed with the post. Then we can start another fix with the post. We can try a smaller pitch post. And we have clamp here to fix this panel, so we can just to pull it to straight and fix this post. After this, we can remove this clamp. A whole set is also finished. And then we can start another mesh with this kind of plastic clamp or this type. It's different type, and it can be just temporary use. After you install the 2 posts, you can remove it. The meshes will be very strong and cannot remove anymore. Okay, now is the installation for the panels with pitch posts. It's same. To be take attention that if you want to install the mesh with pitch post, you should first fix one post, then install the mesh panel, then another post. You can't fix all the posts on the ground before you hook the panels. The panels maybe cannot available to fix onto the post anymore. Okay, this is the clamp for the pitch post. Also, we have different type of the run height for the post. This one is for the bigger one, and this one is for the smaller one. This one is for the smaller one. You can see we have a little space here. We have a special mode that can make all letters all kinds of logos on this part. If you want to put your logo on the cap, you can contact us and for a new mode. And you can see here we have a different types of posts. This color is this color is black, and we also have one is green, and this one is gray. The IL code for this one is 7021, and the IL code for this one is 6005. For this one is 9005. All the safety treatment for the post is powder coated. Every kinds of colors is available for you. You can see all these colors is available for you. And here for the size of big post is 170. For the thickness it can be 1 millimeter, 1.1, 1.2. And the maximum thickness we can make is 1.3. If thicker than this, our machine cannot bending the plant very well. And for the smaller is 50 and 70. Also is with a same thickness with the big post. Okay, this is our instruction for the pitch post and for the installations. Now I will show you how to fix the panels with the post. You can see here is a hook on the post, and here we have a panel to link it like this way. Okay, now it's finished. Then we will have a small plastic feet. This is a smaller one to fix. There is a bending to fix with the post. Here now, okay, finished. And here is a big clamp. This is a bending for the fix with the pose. Okay, now it's finished. Very easy, right? After this, we have a clamp. This is bigger one. This is the smaller one. For different sets of posts, you can see here is HGMT. This is our logo on the post. If you want to put your logo, you can send us a picture. We can make it for you. Now, the next post we will instruct to you is our square pose. Okay, here we get a square pose sample. This one is also with the base. If you don't want the base, it's also okay. And for the length of the pose, if you want to dip it under the ground, the length should be longer, around 400 millimeter or 600 millimeters than the mesh panel's height. Then it can fix very well. And here is a square pose we get. Okay, here now we have a panel. We also have different kinds of clamp for it. The first one is the plastic type. You can see here is a plastic clamp. For the installation, we should first to fix all the posts according to the panel length, but the panel is also with a different installation way with the post. First, we should put the clamps through the post to fix it. Okay, now we have put through the clamp here. If you want to, we have two different ways to fix the panel. If you want to make the panel between the two posts, is a way for this, and you can see here is a clamp. And if your panel is like this, you should pull it here. Okay, you can see we have a bending leave a space for the fence mesh for the wire to fix it, and also we have skills to fix it here. We have two holes here to fix the skills here. The panels will be finished. Also for the clamp numbers, we have different clamp numbers for the mesh panels. Nearly we use it be around 400 or 500 millimeter space for between the two clamps. Okay, this is another way. We will show you another way. We will remove the panels first. This is to use the mesh panel between the two posts. If you want the mesh panel to cover the post, in this way, we also have this clamp is also okay for you. Okay, here is how to install it. We should pull the mesh panel here. Another panel, we have different spaces, more spaces for you to fix the length of the panels and posts. Because sometimes when we have a ground to want to circle, maybe the panels you have is 15, and at last you think it maybe 49.5 pieces of panels will be okay, so you can fix all the lengths by this way. Here is a different level to make the panels. Another panels can put here and can be the corner. If you have a corner side, okay, here is the detail or link for the triangle bending fence with square posts. This is for a corner. You can see here is a curve on the plastic for leave a space for the fence wire to fix it. This way we have different places for the space. You can send the panels here on the inner side, also can be in the center, also can be outside. It's a different place for your reference. Here is the bending for another mesh to make a 90-degree to fix it. Okay, this is a plastic fit. Another kind of plastic clamp is like this. This is just like a lighter arm, so we call it arm clamp. Here is the link with the arm clamp with square poles and mesh. We have fixed the screws here with the clamp. Also, we have a steel plastic cap to cover it. In this way, you cannot see where is the screws, and this is can rot until the rust on the screws. This is for the arm clamp. Okay, here is the installation for the square poles with the arm clamp. And some clients maybe think that I don't like plastic clamps because it is easy for broken, or after 5 or 10 years it maybe lose color, looks not beautiful. We have a steel can for you. This is a steel one with PVC coated, same color with the poles. This is a bigger size, and we have a smaller size. This bigger size is for suit the 60 by 60 post, and this smaller size is better suits with the 50 by 50 square poles. Because if this one to fix the 50, it may be too big to cover the side. Okay, now later I will show you how to fix this with the panels. Still, same as the arm clamp. Put the panels here to fix keep the stand here. Also screws into to fix it. Okay, now we finish. In this way, it's the same install to fix the steel clamp and the arm clamp. Also, we will all install a nut to prefer inside the post. Here is the detail for the steel clamp. The steel clamp can be powder coated to same color with the post, and we have fixed the screws on it. In this way, the steel clamp can also fit the mesh panels with the post very well. If you have another panel, you can put it here. Also, you can make it a 90 degree as a corner post. And another kind, we have a bigger with more we call it a spider clamp. It has more hooks to first panels. It's just the same use as the steel clamp, like this, to make a screws to cross in to fix it. Of course, if you have a corner panel you want to install, you should told us before you place the order. Because this post like this way is just available for a horizontal mesh panels. If you have a corner, we will need to put a hole in the another side to make the clamps, to pull the nuts, and to keep the clamps can be fixed with the post with the panels. And if you have many corners, you should told us there is how many corners you want. If you are sold it to others, you are not sure how many corners you would have, then we suggest you to have a corner post is around 5% of the normal post quantity. That maybe is okay for you. Also, we have a ring height for it. This is a plastic one. After cover it, we can make all the rings outside of the post. Another way, even the plastic cap is broken and some water or rain coming into the post, we have a hole in the base. This base is cannot see after we installation, but if there is some rain or some water coming into, this can be come out by this hole. And without this is also a way to reduce the rust in the post. Okay, for the square post, we have installed the instruction and for the installation. For this one, we have different sizes for it. You can see our sample is 60 by 60. We also have 40 by 40 or 80 by 80. The thickness can be 1.2 mm, 1.5, 1.8 mm, 2 mm. Also, we can make it 2.5 mm, or is as your requirement. Of course, the mesh panel is higher. We suggest you the thickness for the post will be thicker, then it will be much more stronger for you. And the next one is for our rectangle post. It's nearly same insulation with the square post, but there is just a shape different and the size is different. For example, this one is 40 by 60. Also, we can make it 30 by 50 and 60 by 80. The size is just reduce the cost of the raw materials compared to the square post. It will be have a lower price. And the clamps is nearly same with our square post. We have plastic one, we have steel one. Also, we have the plastic is also suited for our rectangle post. The size is similar with our post. It's the same way to install it with the panels. Now the detail show you is for the rectangle post with plastic feet, plastic clamp. It's nearly same with the plastic on square post, and there is a bending, leave a space for the finish wire on the attach the post, and there is also for the corner post. Also, arm clamp is also available for it. But sometimes this type of post, most of our cars is required for this kind of plastic post. This is much more available and much more popular. Also, we have a plastic cap for it. Steel can is also available for you. All the clamps, all the caps, and all the bases all can be same color with the post to powder coated or to PVC coated to it by a same color to make it much more suitable. And this is for the rectangle post. The rectangle post is also PVC coated because all our kinds of post is recommended is PVC coated. In this way, we can make many kinds of posts and many kinds of powder coated for you. All the colors is available. Of course, for this one, we also have a steel one. This one is just like two pieces of steel linked with screws. In the center, we have a rabbit clamp. Here is a little hole to fix the panels. In this way, we can well protect the mesh panel of the wire with the post and no damage between them. Also, we have anti-sieve ball here. With this anti-sieve, our fingers cannot to reinstall our nuts very smoothly. We will need a special tool to fix it and to remove it. And this is another kind of steel clamp. You can see here is a special hinge in the center of this one. This is just to make it much more easier between this one. Because you can see this one we have two screws to fix it. But with this one it's just one screw. It can be saved. It can be saved half our time to put it together. And we can fix it by one person. If you have to install this kind of steel clamp, maybe one place cover this and one place one hand, and another should be. If you want to install this, you should let another person to help you, or it will be a little difficult for only one person to install it. Okay, now this is our suggestion for the rectangle post. The next post, our popular post, is for the Dutch post. The Dutch post is mainly suitable for the Holland fence, but now most colors has chosen it also for our welded mesh fence. For the triangle bending fence, it also looks very good. For this one, you can see this post have a special little triangle on the bottom of the post to make it much more stronger and much more beautiful. In this way, we can use a plastic we can use a plastic clamp to fix it with our panels. This plastic is also with 2 holes for the screws. And to pull it here, of course, how many clamps you want, you should put how many clamps here. Such like you may need 2 or 3 or 4. You should put the clamps first through the post. Then we have a panel. The bending is on this way of the post, or the bending can be have some effective on the post and not easy for installation. If we want to install it, here is the post, here is the panel, here is the clamp. We should pull it here. Okay, now we have finished this install this clamp with the mesh panel. Usually for the clamp, we have one on the top between the bending, just under this wire, and the last one should be on the bottom wire, because in this way we can make the panels cannot pull out or cannot put off to fix it at this height. And now you can see we have finished this one. Then you should fix the clamp with screws to fix it very tight and to make it not more, much more stable. And sorry that we only have plastic clamp for this one, because the steel one maybe have some damage when we make the insulation to the PVC coated. Also we have a plastic cap. This plastic cap is also a special shape to suit our post. You can see after this, all the rain height and the water can be emptied into. Of course, as your requirement, we can punch another extra hole to make the water can be come out to empty the rust. Also, the base for this one is different shape is available for you. This one is a round base. Square post, square base, or without base to deep under the ground is also okay for you. And this is our installation for the Dutch post. If you have a bending, if you have a corner in the post, so another mesh can be go this way. To make all the installation is very easy. The last one for instruction is our round post. This round post is a simple shape. Sorry, I may forget to instruct you the size of Dutch post. The size we can make is 48 for the outside diameter, and another is 60 mm for the outside diameter. This is two popular sizes for it. The thickness can be 1 mm, 1.2, 1.5, 1.8, or 2 mm. Of course, what the thickness we suggest is 1.5 is maybe a better for you. For the round base, is with for the round post, it with a base, square base. Because now we are showing you how to fix it, and we need to have a base to fix it here. Of course, if you want to make it under the ground, it's okay. The post is still should be around 500 mm higher than the panels, which means under the ground here is a length of 500 mm or at least 400 mm. For this one, we also have a special plastic. It's just the same like the clamp with the Dutch post, but with 3 bendings. Because we don't have any more spaces for the wires, so we make a bending to leave a space for our wires to keep it fixed with our panels. Also, no steel clamps available. If you want a steel clamp, maybe it's just like this. 2 pieces to make a circle to make the panels fixed with the post. Now, here is the installation for the round post. First, we will also should fix the post before we make all the installation. You can fix all the posts according to the panel size. If your panel size is 2 meter or 2.5 meter, you can leave the post distance is 2 or 2.5 is okay. Now here is the clamp. Here put through the post, and now we get the panel. Okay, now here. This one is our round post with clamp for the triangle bending fence. You can see this is a round post and the rain hat to cover it to anti some water coming in. And this clamp is similar as the clamp with Dutch post, just with some bendings to leave a space for the fence wire. This way, if you insert it like this way, this will be a space for the corner for the meshes. This can be used also like a corner post clips. All kinds of the caps is available with steel cap or plastic cap. Okay, now we have finished the installation for the round post and the instruction for you. For I still with the size recommended. The size we can make is 32 millimeter, 48 millimeter, 60 millimeter. If you want a bigger one, maybe 75 millimeter is also okay for you. And the thickness is same: 1 millimeter, 1.2, 1.5, 1.8, and also 2 millimeter is okay for you. The surface treatment is also PVC coated. It can be with various colors. You can see this color is gray, and also our popular color is green, white, black, maybe blue is also okay. We can make the colors, all kinds of colors as your requirement. Okay, now you can see we have many samples. We have finished the installation. I can show you. This is with Dutch post, and we have finished the installation with the nuts and screws. It looks very beautiful, right? And for this one is with a round base. You can see the clamp is green, but we can make it gray, same color with the post. And this one is the gray color. This is PE coated with caps and with the bases. Also another is for the square post. The square post is fixed with the M clamp. Of course, there is no steel clamp. You can cover it. You can cover it. Then it's like a whole system, and you can't see where is the screws in the clamp to make it much more stronger and to anti-rust, also anti-safe. Also here is the cap, there is the base. This is also available with the steel clamp. This one is the bigger one, and this one is the smaller one, suitable for 50 by 50. This is suitable for 60 by 60. Another plastic we have show you is this one. I think you still remember it, right? Also, we have a steel clamp. This will be much more stronger than the plastic one, because after maybe 5 or 10 years, this plastic is still stronger. It still can be very good on the post, but maybe the color will be little light. So maybe this one will be different color with the post. And sometimes consider this, maybe consider about the steel kind of post. Okay, here is our pitch post. The pitch post can be installed with the clamp. Here is the clamp. This is the bigger one. If you want to install it just like this, it will be fixed one. And here is the small one. Use it like this. Okay, now a whole set will be available for you. And here we have a smaller type. This is big type pitch post, and this is a smaller. The only difference for the meshes between suits for all kinds of poses here. We will cut a part of the mesh or bending for the pitch pose because this maybe have some effect on the installation. Don't worry, we will cut this before we make the PE coated or PVC coated. So all the cut points will be well covered by the powder, and it won't be easy for rust. Okay, now we have finished all the install and all the introduction for our pose. Following is for the specifications of the mesh panels. We have instructed the sizes of different kinds of poses. Now following is for the meshes. For the mesh, the much more popular for our fence, we export it mainly to the European market. The most popular wire diameter is 4.5 or 5 mm. For the whole size is 50 by 200. This part is 200. And for the bending height is nearly to be 100 mm. Okay, you can see here is a top slang on it. This part is around 30 mm. For this part is used for anti-climb. If someone wants to climb over our fences, here may be not easy to hang out and to support him to climb over, and this one may be a little hurt, but don't worry, this won't hurt. This won't hurt the skin, just a little hurt to anti-climb. Okay, now we will show you the detail difference between PVC coated. Okay, now we will show you the detail for the difference between PE coated and PVC coated. First, we can have a look at the appearance. You can see on the top for PE coated, the wire top is very flat and smoothly. For the PVC coated, it's just like the wire shape and is also a little sharp. And for the thickness of the powder coated, PE coated will have around 1.2 mm, and for the PVC coated is only around 0.1 mm. Next, we will measure the thickness for the wire to check the thickness for the powder coated. First is for the PE coated one. We can first measure the wire diameter. For this wire, you can see it's nearly around 5.1 mm. And we have test and to remove the powder coated by knife. We can measure the wire before PE coated is around 3.87 mm. This is the thickness. Also, we can measure the powder coated is like this. It's around 0.55 mm for this one. The next one is for our PVC coated. The next one is for our PVC coated. For this one, we can first measure the wire diameter. It's around 4.7 mm. And we also have removed a little part of the powder coated by knife. The wire before PVC coated is 3.9 mm. So the thickness for this powder coating is only around 0.1 mm. For the surface treatment of the mesh panel, we have different kinds of method. The first one is black wire galvanized, then hard dip galvanized. Under this way, the zinc coating for it will be more than the zinc coating for the mesh panel may be more than 400 grams per square meter. And this, even in the seaside, it can be used longer than 10 years. The second one is galvanized welded, then PE coated. The PE coated is to make the meshes put into the powder, then pour out. The thickness for it will be much more thicker. And the wire before PE coated we can make is black wire, electric galvanized wire, and hot dipper galvanized wire. Also, the zinc coating for electric galvanized is around 8 to 10 grams per square meter. For the hot dip galvanizer, we have two levels for it. First one is 40 to 60 grams per square meter, and the second one is more than 200 grams per square meter. For the PE coated, the powder thickness, the thickness for the powder is around 0.8 to 1.2 millimeter. That means if you want the wire diameter is 5 millimeter after PE coated, the wire diameter before PE coated is around 3.9. And you can see we get a small sample for hot dip galvanizer mesh panel. This one is a different hole size and without bending, but it's the same method to use like this panel. It also can be make hot dip galvanizer. And the second one for the mesh panel surface treatment is PVC coated. The PVC coated thickness for the powder is only around 0.08 to 0.1 millimeter. Thickness will be much more thinner than the PE coated, and this way we can use it around 2 to 5 years. The powder may be little damaged by the weather, some rain or some wind, or in the seaside it may be around 2 years. The powder will be loose and the panels will be easy to get rust. But the most convenience for PVC coated is for the various of colors. We can make all kinds of colors for the PVC coated. Even you require it yellow, blue, red, or any colors we haven't seen it, we can make it. Although you have a RAL coat, you can tell us to make the PVC coated is available. But for the PE coated, we can make our many color, such like gray, green, black, white, brown. Besides these 5 colors, if you want other colors, we should to negotiate, because here will be a MOQ required for the PE coated. As the progress for the PE coated is, we will put the meshes into the powder, then pour out to dry it. So we have to buy at least 2 tons of the powder. Also, the cost of powder will not so cheap. It's very expensive, so this requires a MOQ for it. But for the PVC coated, there is no problem, no MOQ for the colors. And here is our simple instruction for the mesh. For the height, we can make it from 0.63 meter to 2.43 meter. The popular size we export to European market is 1.03 meter, and second one is 1.23 meter. The third one is 1.53 meter. First one is 1.83 meter, and the fifth one is 2.03 meter. If you want a higher one or bigger one, no problem, we can make it for you. And for the length for the panels is usually be 2 meters or 2.5 meter. Such as for the smaller height, smaller panels, maybe with a shorter length, such like 1.23 meter with a length of 2 meter. But bigger panels always with a longer length, such like a 1.03 meter height with a 2.5 meter length. Of course, if you want a shorter or longer length, we all can make it. The max height we can make is 3 meter. If you want a higher, maybe there is a limited of our machine, we can't weld it. Also, there is a limited for our PE coated. We cannot make it smoothly. So if you want a very high mesh height, maybe we will suggest you to have a shorter length, such like only 1.5 or 2 meter. Okay, now here is the size recommended for the panels. Following, we will instructing the progress of all kinds of the meshes. For the mesh, we will first all costs. For all progress is after we get your payment. And after we get your payment or after we have got your signed PI, perform invoice, we will arrange the purchase of all raw materials. For the mesh panel, we will first buy the wire. If you require is hot dip galvanized wire, we will purchase the wire according to your requirement, and the wire diameter also is as your requirement. This one we will first get the raw material of wires. All the raw material wires is in coil. We should first, when we get the raw materials, we will first measure the wire diameter, whether it's suit, whether it's meet our requirements. Such like the wire diameter we required is 3.9. There is a tolerance around 0.05 mm on the wire diameter. Maybe the wire we get is 3.87, or maybe the wire diameter we get is 3.95. So all this is passed and all this is okay for us. Then we will straighten and cut the wires to the length we required, because all the panels is just a 2D panels without no bending, and all the wires should be straight. Before make the welding, we will measure all the length of the wires to see whether it suits our mesh panel. Such like the length you required is 2.5, then we will make the length of the wire not less than 2.5. And then we will start the welding. We have four machines, automatic machines for make the welding. All the hole size is controlled by the machine, and the tolerance on the hole size is around 2 mm, which means the hole size is 50 mm you required. The final hole size may be 48 mm to 52 mm. This is our tolerance. And for the height of the panels is same. For the whole size of panel, our tolerance is around 5 mm. For the height, for the length after PE coated. Our cost is same before PE coated. We will measure the mesh on the two different points to measure it whether it's just like a square or rectangle, not no out of shape. To keep all the installations can be well installed. And after welding, we will first measure all the sizes, all the hole size, all the panel size, to make sure the first 1 or 2 pieces panels is okay. Then we will start the next welding. After we make all the welding, we will arrange the bending. The bending is also by a special machine to make this one. The bending is also make machine also. After make the first 1 or 2 pieces bending, we will measure the height, whether it can suit our requirement, and the wire will be sent at the center of the bending. Then, after we have bending the mesh, if this mesh is suited for our pitch post, we will cut this part to suit the pitch post before PE coated or PVC coated. All the curves of the panels will cut a piece of bending here on the side. And then is our progress of post. All the post is besides the pitch post, all the posts such like square post, rectangle post, Dutch post, and for the round post, the raw material we bought is for 6 meters. We will first cut it as the requirement. If you require is 2.2, we will cut it to 2 pieces 2.2. Then clean the cut side to make no slack on it. And then if there is any need for the holes or for the nuts, we will make a hose to fix the nuts on the post. And if there is a square to is a base. We will first welding the base on the top with the top of all the pieces. Then all the semi-finished panels and posts are finished the production. At this time, our quality control person will first install some panels with the posts to make sure the goods can be well used and well installation before the surface treatment to reduce the cost. If everything is okay, we have a report of semi-finished products in tray installation. Then after this one, we will start the PVC coated or PE coated for the meshes. For the mesh panels, the most popular we made is PE coated. Of course, if you want PVC coated, it's also okay. And the post will be PVC coated. But don't worry, we will test and check the color between panels and posts. Of course, there is a little difference for the colors between PE coated and PVC coated, but it's nearly same. We can promise that. For the panels, we will make the PE coated. For the PE coated, I will detail instructions the PE coated for you. The PE coated, we will hang the semi-finished panels onto the machine. It's an automatic line. Hang it, and then it will first to make some preheat. The heat on the machine will be around 300 degrees, and then the panels come out from the preheat part. We have a bowl with at least 2 tons of powders. The bowl will pull off to cover all the panels and to make sure all the wires on the panels will be well covered by the powder. Then pull off, and the panels will go to another heat part. The degree in that is around 150 degrees to make all the powders fix and to make it much more smoothly. After this, it will be get around to turn back to the first place. We have some workers to hang it up. All the panels is tied by a tie wire. We name it work point. All these panels will cut the wire because the wire thickness is around only 2 mm. It's very thinner but very strong to hang the panels. Before we pull off it, we should cut the wire first and then to make it on the pallet for the next deal. And for the post, it's also same with the mesh panels. For the post, we will first hang it on the machine, then preheat it. The temperature in it is around 180 degrees. Then make some gun to go up and down to make the powders cover the post. Also, we have 1 or 2 laborers extra to make a gun to powder coated by their hands. This way is to make sure all the points of the P-post or other kind of post is well covered with the powders to make the quality will be very, very good. And then we will heat it again. The temperature is around 100 degrees to make the powders much more smoothly and looks very good. Then pull it off from the machine. For the mesh, we have the working point. We will cut the working point very, very short. It's nearly also 1 mm longer than the panels, and we will use a pen to paint some paint. If your panel is green, and we will use a pen to paint some green paint on the point to make it also covered by the paint, and to make sure it will not easy for rust. For the post is also a hook on the machine to hang the post. Also have a working point. This one is same deal with the panel post to make sure all the places is well covered by the paint or the powder. Then we will make the finished goods trail installation by our quality by our quality control person to make sure all the goods can be same well used and easy for installation after the surface treatment. Okay, this is our progress for our panels and for our posts. Also, we have some quality control during all the progresses, and we will see and check all the quality before the progress, and then if everything is okay, we can go to next progress. If there is any problem, we will stop it and to check and to refix it to keep the quality is 100% very good and to keep the quality is perfect. At last is the packing for the posts and for the panels. For the panels, we usually use the pallet. Pallet we have two materials. One is wooden and another is steel. By the wooden pallet, it will be a wooden pallet, and this pallet will be used for export. We have used it for many years, and there is no problem. It's very strong. And all the panels will be placed on the pallet very straight in a straight line and looks very good. Then we will tie it at a very side. Also, we'll circle to tie it to make sure the pallet won't shake open and to make it much mobile when you get the goods. For the post, we will make the bamboo film to cover the post and with different colors or stamp. If the post you required is to PVC coated black, we will use the black tape to fix the bamboo film. Also, when you see the stamp is black, you can know the post is powder coated black. Of course, same for the green post. If the post is green, we will use a green stamp. For the gray one, we have a red. Always, the stamp is always different colors for you to recommend what is the powder coated color for the post. Of course, if you want to have more loading quantity, maybe you can try the mesh panels loading in bulk. Then we can load in much more quantity than loading in pallets. But there may be some costs when you are loading all the goods. And if you want the post is also loading in pallets, it's okay. Just we can load in a less quantity into the container. So for the steel pallet, we will welding the steel pallet size according to the mesh panel size. All the pallets is nearly same size with the mesh panels and with the post. We have three methods for you. One is the panels and the post all is packed in pallet. The second one is just the mesh panels in pallet, but the post in bulk. And the third one is the mesh panels and the posts all loaded into bulk. Then you can make your choice and you can consider about the loading quantity with the transportation costs and your labor costs for unloading all the goods. Anyway, we will make some professional suggestions to you, but all depends on you. Okay. Until now, we have finished all the instructions for our triangle bending fence with different kinds of poles with different surface treatment and clamps. At last, thanks for you coming to our live show. Our company is Gent Fence, and our mainly products is triangle bending fence, temporary fence, chain link fence, tubular fence. Also, garden gate is available for you to suit your garden or industry zone. Now we have finished the install for our instruction for our triangle bending fence with posts. And maybe you want to say that I will want some extension arm on the top of the post to fix some barbed wire or rubber wire to anti-seize or anti-clamp. That's okay. We have this type of double arm for you. This is kind of double arm. Why is double arm? Because this is just like an arm and is double. Also, single arm is available for you, and you can see here is a single arm. This single arm and the double arm is made by a U-shaped steel to make some punches to hang with the barbed wire and to fix a wire or to fix the razor wire. This way is an easy way, and another such like the airport fence, we may make the double arm as with the same steel, with the same measure with the square post or other post. Just a double arm welded by square post to make it also is available for fixes. And you can see on the bottom of the double arm, we have a smaller size. This is also square tube, but that's a smaller size with the square tube with a hole. And we will also drill 2 holes on the post to fix it with some screws, a very longer and strong screws to keep the double arm cannot remove easily. Okay, now we have finished the whole set of our triangle bending fence. If you have any requests or if you have any interest, you can contact us for more details by clicking our website. Here is our website and our email address. You can contact us at any time and any way. Also, if you want to know, we have some videos for you to show our factory and to show our factory and to show all our workshop and progresses. If you want to know more, just leave a comment on the bottom or click the bottom link for more and for contact us for more. And following, we have a simple video of our factory and the workshop and the progresses recommended to you. You can watch it and to know more about the progresses, because I just said it, but you didn't see any machine or see any deals for it. Also, we have a detailed video for you. Okay, if you are interested in our products or if you are interested in our factory, you can follow us to know. Welcome to contact us and waiting for your next visit to our live show. See you next time. Bye bye.